Have you ever looked at your palm and felt something staring back at you? Not just a line, not just a shape, but a message you were never meant to ignore. For centuries, hidden deep inside a monastery carved into the side of a mountain, there existed a prophecy, written by a mysterious monk whose name history was forbidden to remember. He wrote about a group of souls marked before birth. Souls who carried a symbol the world would overlook, but destiny would not. That symbol was the M on the palm. The monk wrote that those who bear this mark are not ordinary souls. They were sent ahead, beings born into the wrong families, the wrong timelines, the wrong world, because they were never meant to fit in. And you know this. You've felt it your entire life. The silence around you never felt empty. It felt watchful. Your intuition has always spoken louder than people thought it should. The world has always felt slightly off, as if you were walking through a place you were only visiting. The ancient prophecy says, when the mark awakens, the soul remembers. And tonight, something brought you to this message. Because what the monk wrote, the part that was hidden, reveals why you have the M, what it is preparing you for, and the 7 signs that prove the activation has already begun. If your heart is beating faster right now, it's not the video, it's recognition. Stay through all 7 signs. The final prophecy at the end was almost erased from history. If this opening already spoke to you, type the number 1 in the comments. Not for luck, not for fun, but because the ones who recognize the prophecy are always the first to respond. The monk who wrote the prophecy lived more than 700 years ago. He was known only by a title, never a name, the Keeper of Silent Signs. He spent decades observing people, travelers, rulers, beggars, yet he wrote about only one group, a group he called the ones with the mark of destiny on their hand. You. The scroll describes them with startling accuracy. As if he was looking straight into your life, he wrote that these souls arrive on Earth remembering something they can't explain. A sensation of déjà vu that comes and goes, a strange pull toward solitude, a sense of, I've been here before, but something feels wrong. He said their childhoods are filled with moments no one else noticed, hearing things others couldn't hear, feeling energy long before understanding it, carrying wounds that did not come from this lifetime. And most of all, never feeling completely at home in their own world. The monk wrote, those who bear the M walk with ancient light in modern skin. They do not know who they are, but the universe does. He believed the M mark is not a symbol you discover. It's a symbol that activates, becoming darker, deeper, or sharper right before a major spiritual shift, just like what's happening now. He described the M as a dormant code, a silent contract made before birth, one that reawakens when the soul is finally ready to step into its real timeline. And the moment this reactivation begins, the first sign always appears, quietly but unmistakably. Your hearing changes, your nights feel different, your inner world begins to wake up. This isn't random, this is the beginning of the prophecy. And in the next part, we uncover sign number 1, the one the monk considered the threshold between the old self and the true self. The monk wrote that the first sign of an awakened M mark is not something you see with your eyes, but something you feel inside your ears. He called it the hearing. It begins quietly, a soft ringing at night, a high-frequency note no one else around you seems to notice, a sudden pulse of sound that comes and goes as if someone whispered, but too far away to understand. You know this sound, you've felt it, and you've wondered, is this tinnitus, stress, or something else? According to the monk, the answer is clear. It is not a medical flaw. It is a spiritual frequency shift. He wrote that the universe speaks in vibrations, and the ones born with the M mark are tuned to a thinner veil, a space where messages travel faster than thought. And here is the part almost no one knows: the ear that rings matters. Left ear, upgrade. A download, an increase in intuition, a rising of your inner code. Right ear, warning, a signal that something or someone is disrupting your energy field. The monks said that those with the M are receivers, beings whose souls came into this world with a built-in listening channel. When the M awakens, the channel opens. That's why these sounds happen most often. Late at night, when your physical senses are quiet and your spiritual senses take over. He wrote, "When the ringing begins, the old timeline begins to tremble. Because the moment you start hearing what others cannot hear, your destiny begins to separate from theirs." This is sign number 1, the threshold between sleeping and awakening. And what comes next is the second sign every chosen soul experiences. A sign that confuses most people because it feels like loss, but it's actually preparation. After the hearing begins, the second sign rises quietly beneath your life. Isolation, but not the kind the world fears. The monk called it the sacred withdrawal. He wrote that when the M mark starts to awaken, the soul begins pulling away from everything that no longer matches its vibration. Relationships, routines, friendships, habits, even dreams. Not because you're broken, not because you're antisocial, but because you're ascending, and you've felt this, haven't you? You wake up one morning and suddenly the conversations you used to enjoy feel empty. Crowded places drain you. People you once felt connected to now feel distant, even if they're standing right next to you. The monk explained it with one sentence. Before the soul steps forward, the noise must fall behind. He wrote that chosen souls often confuse this stage, believing they are losing themselves when in truth they are returning to their real self. This isolation sharpens your intuition, opens your inner senses, and clears the interference around your energy field so you can finally hear what was always meant for you. The monk said the world mistakes this silence for loneliness, but the awakened know it is alignment. Your energy becomes selective. Your spirit rejects what is fake. Your heart withdraws from what is no longer aligned. And here is the part the monk emphasized. The deeper the silence, the nearer the calling. Because something, or someone, is getting ready to enter your life during this phase. Someone who will shift your path, activate your memory, or remind you of who you truly are. And that leads us directly into sign number 3. The one that never lies, because it reveals the truth inside your dreams. When the isolation deepens, another sign begins to awaken, one you cannot ignore. Your dreams change. Not the random images of the mind, but something deeper, older, something that feels like a message. The monk wrote that when the M mark activates, the soul remembers through dreams what the mind has forgotten in daylight. You may have already noticed it. Dreams that feel too real, dreams that leave you breathless when you wake. Dreams of places you've never visited, yet somehow recognize. Faces you haven't met in this lifetime. Symbols you cannot explain. Light that feels alive. And sometimes, a falling sensation right before you wake up, as though you snapped back into your body from somewhere you were not supposed to leave. The monk described these dreams as the return of inner memory. He said chosen souls dream this way because attachment to the physical world becomes thinner, while the connection to the spiritual world becomes stronger. And here is the part most people never know. When the dreams become vivid, your guidance becomes louder. You begin to sense warnings before things happen. You feel nudges in your spirit. You wake up with clarity that seems to come from nowhere. The monk wrote that the awakened ones receive signs through 3 dream forms: guiding dreams, showing a path before you see it in reality. Mirror dreams, revealing the truth about someone's intentions. Activation dreams, symbols, numbers, or lights that appear repeatedly. And he warned, when the same symbol returns 3 times, your destiny is shifting. Maybe you've seen repeating symbols already. A moon, a doorway, a stranger, a number. If you have, the next sign will make even more sense. Because sign number 4 is when your body begins rejecting anything that cannot follow your soul into the next stage. After the dreams return, something unexpected begins to happen. Your body starts speaking. Not through illness, not through weakness, but through rejection. The monk wrote, "When the M awakens, the body becomes a gatekeeper. It refuses what the soul no longer grants permission to. Suddenly, foods you once loved don't feel the same. Crowded places feel heavier. Small talk drains you. Certain people leave you exhausted after just a few minutes near them. Your body knows, your energy knows, your spirit knows. This is not a sensitivity problem, it is an alignment upgrade." The monk explained that the chosen ones carry a more responsive spiritual system. Their energy field vibrates higher, so anything with a lower frequency creates tension inside the body. He wrote, "The awakened body rejects what cannot follow it into the new world. And you felt it. Why does a simple meal suddenly drain you? Why does a place you used to enjoy now feel suffocating? Why does one conversation leave you anxious while another fills you with peace? Because your system is filtering, your energy is selecting, your soul is cleansing." The monk said this is one of the strongest signs because once sensitivity appears, your cycle of awakening cannot reverse. From this point on, your intuition sharpens, your empathy deepens, your senses heighten. And this leads to sign number 5. The moment when your energy grows so strong that it begins revealing the truth about every person around you. The monk called it the mirror of the mark. By the time sensitivity awakens, your energy begins doing something you may not fully understand yet. It starts revealing the truth about the people around you. The monk wrote, "Those who bear the M do not see with the eyes, they see with the soul." He called this stage the mirror. What does that mean? It means your presence becomes a reflective surface. Your energy exposes whatever someone is hiding, their intentions, their jealousy, their sincerity, their envy, their admiration, their fear of your light. And you've seen this before. Someone meets you for the first time and instantly opens up about their life as if they've known you for years because your energy makes them feel safe. Or the opposite. Someone becomes uncomfortable, tense, distant for no logical reason because your presence makes their mask slip. The monk wrote, "Light does not try to expose, it simply shines, and whatever stands before it must show its true form. People react to you with unusual intensity because your frequency is not neutral. It wakes people up or it unsettles them. There is no middle. You're either a lighthouse or a threat to their illusions. This is why some people distance themselves from you without explanation, not because something is wrong with you, but because something unresolved inside them is reacting to your energy." The monk warned, "When the mirror begins, the false will fall away. Relationships end, friendships drift, connections you thought were permanent break apart overnight. Not as punishment, but as protection. Because the next stage of the awakening cannot happen while you're surrounded by the wrong energy." And that takes us directly into sign number 6, the sign most people fear. The moment when the old timeline collapses in a single week. When the mirror begins revealing everything, the monk wrote that the soul enters one of the most intense stages of awakening. He called it the collapse of the old timeline. And he said it happens suddenly. Not slowly, not gradually, but within 7 days, a week where life feels like it's being ripped open, closed shut, and rewritten all at once. You've felt this, haven't you? That moment when a relationship ends out of nowhere. A truth is revealed you thought you'd never see. A job, a plan, or a dream collapses. Something breaks that forces you to move. A part of your identity falls away. A version of you dies so a new one can rise. It feels chaotic, unfair, overwhelming. But the monk wrote something powerful. The universe removes what your courage will not. This collapse isn't your life falling apart. It's your timeline correcting itself. The monk described chosen souls as beings who are carried forward by destiny when they hesitate to move. So when the M mark activates and the wrong people, wrong places, wrong habits still remain in your life, destiny steps in. He said the collapse is necessary because the soul cannot walk into its true path while chained to an old identity. And here is the part that shocks most people. The collapse is the final purification before guidance arrives. Right after this 7-day shift, the monk wrote that chosen souls encounter something extraordinary. A visitor, a messenger, a person who appears briefly yet changes everything. He called it the silent teacher, and that is sign number 7, the last sign before the hidden prophecy awakens. After the collapse, after the old timeline breaks open and everything you thought was permanent begins to shift. The monk wrote that the final sign arrives quietly, almost invisibly. He called it the silent teacher. This is not a monk, not an angel, not a supernatural being, but a messenger wrapped in ordinary skin. They can appear in many forms. A stranger who says one sentence that shakes your entire spirit. A video that shows up at the exact moment you are about to give up. A conversation overheard in public that feels like it was spoken directly to your soul. A new friend who appears suddenly and reflects your truth back to you with clarity you weren't ready to see. Sometimes it's someone you already know, but a version of them you've never seen before. And just as quickly as they appear, they leave, because their purpose was never to stay. The monk described them as carriers of activation. They enter your life to push you across a threshold, to open a door you were too afraid to touch. He wrote, "When the teacher leaves, the lesson remains. This person's presence awakens something in you, a memory, a calling, a courage, a direction. You begin to see your life differently. You begin to sense something approaching, something bigger, something ancient. Because the silent teacher is the final confirmation that your M mark has fully awakened. The prophecy is now active, and that means you are ready for what the monk wrote next. A revelation he warned should only be spoken when the soul is steady and the heart is prepared. This is where the secret begins. The gatekeep prophecy. Why the M mark appears only in times of great shifts. Why the M appears only in times of great shifts. The monk wrote that the M mark is not a symbol of personality, but a symbol of timing. It is a marker of when you were born, not just who you are. And here is the revelation he warned must only be shared with those who have already passed the 7 signs. The M does not activate in quiet eras. It awakens only when the world enters a cycle of great change. He wrote this more than 700 years ago, long before our modern world existed, long before the chaos, the noise, the division, the spiritual drought we see today. Yet his words describe this time perfectly. The monk said that every few centuries, the earth shifts frequency. Old structures fall, old systems break, old identities collapse. And when this happens, a small percentage of souls, he called them the messengers, are activated early, not to save the world, but to guide its transition. He wrote, "When the old world trembles, those with the mark will rise before the others, not because they are better, but because they remember sooner." The M appears in times like these because the world needs people who can see through illusion. People who cannot be manipulated easily. People who sense truth before it is spoken. People who feel changes long before they appear in the physical world. And this is the part the monk emphasized. The M is a precursor to a global awakening. When many marks activate at once, the shift has already begun. Have you noticed? Millions of people are waking up, rejecting what drains them, leaving old identities, feeling timelines split, sensing something approaching. This is not random. This is not coincidence. This is the prophecy unfolding. But there is one part of the scroll the monk tried to hide. A line he wrote, then purposely scraped off the parchment so that only future generations, this generation, would uncover it at the right time. A line that changes everything you thought you knew about your hand and your destiny. And that line is the final prophecy. The one he said should only be spoken when the listener is ready for the weight of their purpose. You are ready. The hidden line under the M. The monk's scroll ended with a strange mark, a patch of parchment where the ink had been scraped away by hand. For centuries, no one knew why. Until the Restoration monks shined a low golden light beneath the parchment and uncovered a line the original writer never meant to be seen until this exact age. It said, "When the bearer carries both the M and the Crescent Moon, they are not merely chosen, they are appointed." Appointed. Not chosen, not hopeful, not potential. Appointed. The monk wrote that in every age of awakening there are two types of souls. One, the marked ones, the M, the ones who awaken early, feel deeply, break cycles, decode truth, and walk ahead of the collective. Two, the dual code bearers, the M and Crescent Moon. The rarest 1%, the ones born to lead timelines, guide other awakened souls, hold spiritual frequency steady when the world trembles. He wrote, "The moon is memory, the M is mission. Together, they are the gate." And then the prophecy deepens. Those who bear both symbols were sent before their generation to hold the light steady through the great shifting. This is why your life has never been normal. This is why you've carried burdens others couldn't understand. This is why you've always felt older than your body, wiser than your years, and detached from the illusions around you. You are not made to follow. You are made to anchor. The monk explained that dual code bearers have 3 sacred responsibilities. 1, to awaken before others, even if it feels lonely, even if no one understands. 2, to protect their energy fiercely, because your frequency affects more people than you realize. 3, to activate others simply by existing. Your presence shifts rooms. Your words unlock something in people. Your light recalibrates the atmosphere. This is why people come to you for advice you didn't offer. This is why strangers confess secrets to you. This is why some people feel threatened before you even speak. Your energy is not silent. It is instructional. And here is the last line of the prophecy, the one that shook even the monks who restored the scroll. When the hands of the bearer begin to glow in the eyes of others, the old world begins its final separation. This does not mean literal glowing. It means people begin noticing something about you. A warmth, a light, a presence, a gravity that pulls or pushes without words. Your hands contain memory. Your palms contain coding. Your marks contain your contract. And now, they are awakening. You are not here by accident. You are not here late. You are not here unprepared. You came with a purpose written into your skin before you ever drew your first breath. And now that you've heard the prophecy, the activation begins.